Reba, welcome to Australia. I believe that I'm sitting down, I've never done this before, but the first television interview in Australia, I'm sitting down with you.
Really? Well, I'm flattered.
So am I. It's lovely to see you at last. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Short hair.
You like that?
I like it.
Little short hair?
It's beautiful.
I've really enjoyed it. It's more me. You know, this is more my personality.
What is your personality?
Spunky, frisky, I think frisky is the word. But fun. And it's fun and it's easy to do, and I can fix it myself sometime when I need to. And I just really like it a lot better.
I covered Garth Brooks' concert when he came over here and his whole tour. And there are some similarities in the sense that Garth Brooks was not known as well outside the States. You're the same case. It's almost like starting over.
It is. It is. It's a huge challenge. People ask me all the time what keeps me going, and it's curiosity. What more can we do? Where can we go? Who can we meet? Who can we introduce my music to? And the first answer out of my mouth was Australia. I was so tickled to get to come down here.
What would you like to say to the people of Australia about you? Because we know, I mean, people who know you, you've sold huge amounts of records. You're a huge star in the States, but in Australia, not so much so.
Well, I'd like to tell them that I've been doing this professionally for 22 years, but more than that, I think I've been doing it like 32 years because I started when I was a very youngster. My older brother Pake and my little sister Susie and I were the singing McIntyres, and Mom and Daddy would take us to these singing functions, and where there were dance halls, rodeos, nightclubs, whatever, wherever they'd let us sing, we were there, and we enjoyed it tremendously. When I was in junior high school, we had a small country and western band for our music class. Our school was too small to have a marching band, so we were the music. And we'd play at the football games and at concerts to raise money for any class who would hire us. And just really, it was a great education. So music has been my life, along with ranching, because I grew up on a ranch in southeastern Oklahoma. My daddy is a world champion steer roper in the rodeo, as my grandfather is, his daddy. And so I'm a third-generation rodeo brat, grew up on a ranch that loves to sing. That's about it.
Well, it's a long way from singing on the back of a truck
Oh, yeah.
to now and being part of a multi-million-dollar starstruck business. Do you miss the hungry years or not?
Oh, Lord, no. I don't miss them at all. No. This is the fun part. People always say, why don't you quit? You have everything you need. And I'm like, well, shoot, if I was going to quit, I should have quit 20, 30 years ago when it was hard. And, you know, smoky clubs, and your eyes would hurt so bad, and your throat would just burn because of the smoke. And now, I get on the nice stage and the nice lights and nice outfits, and people are listening to me. Oh, shoot, I wouldn't quit for anything. I love it.
Yeah, and it really comes out in your personality. You have had tragedy in your life, and you know, that's fairly well documented. It was interesting reading about how you came out of that. I guess when you move on and exciting things happen in your life, sometimes they come out of tragedy and bad things in your life. What have you learned by all that?
The thing that I've learned most of all about losing my band and my tour manager in 1991 is that you can't live life, you can't put it off. You have to live life as if it's your last moment on earth, because it could be. Whether it's an accident, whether if, you know, you're just totally incapacitated. Some things could change without you knowing it, without you having any preparation whatsoever. So live life to the fullest each and every second, because you may not have another second.
Are you a more spiritual person now?
I've always been a very spiritual person, and that's what got me through this tragedy of losing those 8 people that were very near and dear to my heart. I was sitting at my vanity, my makeup counter, 2 days after the plane crash. And we were having to make the decision of what we were going to do next. And I was booked to perform at the Oscars, the Academy Awards show, the song from Postcards from the Edge, I'm checking out this Heartbreak Hotel. And Narvel, my husband and manager, kept asking me, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know, you got to give me time, because I was still pretty much in shock. And I was sitting there by myself, and the most calm feeling came over me. And it was all of them saying, Reba, go do it for us. I didn't hear it, I felt it. And I got up and I walked in there and I told Narvel, I said, I'm going to sing this song. Go ahead and call them and tell them I'll be there. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm going to do it for them. So it was whether it was a message from them, whatever, but I felt it, and I went on that stage and I sang my heart out for them.
It was a rise, you know, the phoenix rising from the ashes, wasn't it?
It was.
Because I note in reading about you that you could very well have given it all up at that point and not even gone on the stage again.
They wouldn't have wanted me to. They would not. They would have been telling me, get back up there. You could do it. Go on. Because that's the way they were. Especially Jim Hammond, my tour manager. He was a feisty character himself, and he would have been the first one there saying, no, you go on. You'll find somebody to replace us. And I never have found anybody to replace any of them. We have a great band now, but they were individuals themselves. You know, they were great personalities. They'll never be replaced. But we do have a great tour manager now and a great band that performs with me.
Now, of course, you're in charge or part of that multi-million-dollar business. How do you mix executive, superstar, and mum?
Well, I have lots of help, and I delegate that help real well. I say, y'all go take care of it. I get to do the fun stuff. They're the thinker-uppers, and I'm the doer. So they think up all the ideas for me to do, and I go out and do it. And being the mom part's the easy part, because what a child needs more than anything is lots of love, and they love direction, and they love discipline. And I have great help taking care of Shelby when I'm off either doing a movie or doing a concert when he doesn't want to go with me. He's 8 years old, and he's a wonderful child. He's the sunshine of my life. And he's in school now in the 2nd grade, and it's very interesting. There's never a dull moment with an 8-year-old around.
That's great. There's so many things I want to talk to you about. I hope I've got time. The movies, which I know, reading and listening to you love acting. Mm-hmm. You can tell you just love this. You've done some wonderful roles.
Thank you.
You've got a recent, you've just done, I believe, a telly movie through your own company.
Uh-huh.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's a movie for the CBS television movie of the week, and it's called Forever Love. It's about a woman who I play. Her name is Lizzie, and she has a beautiful 2-year-old daughter, happily married. And while they're on the playground one afternoon, Lizzie, my character, collapses, and she wakes up 20 years later. She had an aneurysm, a stroke, and her brain needed the 20 years to heal before she could wake up. And the rest of the story, the rest of the movie is how she copes with all this. With her husband, he doesn't look the same. He's changed, and her 2-year-old daughter is now 20 years old, or 22 years old, and she's fixing to go to law school and fixing to get married, and she's like, what a shock that would be. And that's how I prepared myself for this role, is what would I do if I woke up 20 years later and Shelby's 28 years old, and look at all the things I'd missed.
Wow.
It's just overwhelming to me.
You obviously love doing a role like that. That is wonderful. I suppose you were disappointed you didn't get that role in Titanic, or you couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. I did get the part, which is great. I was thrilled to pieces that James Cameron himself said, you have the part of the unsinkable Molly Brown. And we went back home and we were trying to get our schedules coordinated, and he said, okay, I need these 3 months. We said, you got them. And we moved all the shows, the arenas, the venues, we moved them around to the later 3 months. And evidently they had more on their plate than what they thought, and so they came back and said, we don't need these 3 months, we need these 3 months. Well, with all the competition out there, you know, not only other entertainers, but with your ice hockey and football and basketball and stuff, and the arenas and the coliseums we were playing, it was basically impossible to do that. And I've always been taught from my mom and daddy, when you make a commitment, when you tell somebody you're going to be there, you be there. And so my first commitment was to my fans and to the people at the halls, the arenas and the venues. And so I had to tell James Cameron, I'm terribly sorry, I cannot do the movie.
Oh dear.
So, and after watching it, it was like, wow, what have I done? But you know, things happen for a reason.
Sure.
You never know why or what for. But Kathy Bates did an excellent job as Molly Brown. Mm. And I got to go and do some other things. But the only thing I'm wondering about, in December, while they were shooting the movie, I broke my leg skin. And I thought, now, if I was on the movie, would I have broken my leg? You know, you kind of wonder about things.
One thing leads to another.
Yeah.
That's right. The clip, your clip, What If? Now, this is the latest single,
Uh-huh.
which is off the Memories?
No, it's
a
not on
single,
an
isn't it?
album.
It's
Yeah,
a single, What If? pardon me.
totally separate.
Right, What If. What can you tell us about that song, because we're going to show that clip? Tell us why you chose that as a single.
It's a song of hope. It's a song of, let's think about this. It's a song of, everybody can sit down and say, well, what if I did this to help somebody? Well, what could I do? Well, what if I did this? If everybody in the world would just do one what if, the world would be a better place. What if we just reached out a hand and helped somebody else? Wouldn't it be a greater place? And this song was very inspirational for me. You know, it's like, well, what else can I do? What more can I do? What more can I give? I've been so blessed and I've received so much. But the fun part of receiving is giving back. And the more you give back, the better you feel. And it's just like it's a big snowball, because the more you give, the more you receive, to be able to give more.
That's nice.
So it's really a good feeling.
Do you know, we don't often get big shows coming through Adelaide first. We normally get them around about third. Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide. But you're in Adelaide first up.
Uh-huh.
The people of Adelaide, what can they expect?
There's no telling. It's going to be our first show. No, it's going to be very exciting. We're going to be very excited, and the adrenaline's going to be pumping, because we've never worked on the same stage with Kenny Rogers. And we're all huge fans of Kenny Rogers. I've got to do the movie with him, the Gambler movie, before, but I've never got to perform with him. So we're really anxious to get on the stage there at Adelaide and get to perform with Kenny and his group. We will come out and sing together several songs, Kenny and I will, and then I'll do my show, and then Kenny will do his.
Do you know anything about Adelaide?
No, not a thing.
It's a beautiful place.
What can you tell me? What do I need to go see?
Well, I think, do you like the wine growing area?
Oh, yes.
We have the best wine in Australia. I'm not
Wonderful.
kidding. The Barossa Valley is the best place, and beautiful places for luncheon, for walking and looking around.
Good.
We've got a place called Kangaroo Island, the most beautiful. Your son would love to see that. All the kangaroos and all the seals and all the natural
Oh,
fauna.
great.
People from all over the world come to see Kangaroo Island.
Uh-huh.
And the Barossa Valley, and the place called the Flinders, but that's probably a bit far for you to go. But certainly Barossa and the Kangaroo Island are one-day trips you can take.
Good.
Wonderful.
Good. We'll hit that.
So just finally, welcome, to Australia once again.
Thank you.
And to Adelaide, and you're going to have a wonderful time.
I am pleased beyond words to be in Australia, and thanks for the super hospitality.
That's great.